So you got a tire wall that you want to cover up? Let me show you how to make some cheap, easy, effective, natural mud plaster with perhaps a little reinforcement in it. Hi, I'm Angel, by the way. I'm trying to get this glove on so I can wave at you properly. You can call me Aunt Angel if you want. And here I've been building what's commonly called a tire wall. It's a low-tech, high mass, potentially insulated, in this case it is insulated, passive temperature control mechanism and wall, as the name would imply. And eventually this will be an enclosed patio, and maybe even eventually it will open up to those bedrooms. But for right now, I'm just trying to make it a little more presentable and less ugly tire-ish for the winter. And I'm on a super low budget and working with limited energy and time. So I thought I would show you where I've gotten to and talk a little bit about where I hope to get to. And I'm using mostly natural fill dirt. This whole yard was, this whole neighborhood was leveled off with fill dirt some years ago. So what I found in my many excursions building here over the years is that there's ample fill dirt, and it's got it's not super high clay content, but it's good enough to work with. It's you can probably see here there's a lot of cracking in even my reinforced layers. Let's see if we can get down here and see. And I haven't done anything to try to mitigate that cracking because I really don't care about it at this phase. Now when I get to the final layers, I will be curing it slower and adding more lime and sand in order to help it cure slower, and maybe even another layer of mesh of some sort to keep it from cracking. But for right now, what I'm using is just dirt out of the ground. And after I infilled it, you can see the tires here, so I infilled it till it was nearly flush, and then I started making like a plaster mud in my wheelbarrow here. And then these last few layers, I've been adding some Quickcrete mortar mix, which is a mixture of sand and Portland cement. And I actually have a little extra builder's sand over here. They've been adding in a little bit as well. So that makes a really nice, this has withstood some rain. It won't last forever. And clearly it doesn't look the greatest, but it looks better than the tires. And it will get it through the winter with the tires covered. And then eventually, I might even get some colored stucco on it before winter hits. We'll see. But in any case, it is a very low budget. I actually had somebody donate 3 bags of mortar mix, but I think they're up to about maybe $6 these days. Twice what they used to be, like most things. But in any case, it's still, I get about 3 wheelbarrow fulls with one 60-pound bag of sand and Portland, and you get a lot more if you had just a $20 bag of Portland cement and some builder's sand. And I'm very imprecise a lot the way that I make pancakes or omelets. I just kind of sprinkle it in until it looks good. But and at this stage, that's perfectly acceptable. Later on, it might matter more. We've got lots of air traffic here in Albuquerque. I want to talk just a little bit about the passive temperature control aspects of a tire wall or any rammed earth wall, and what you can do by adding a layer, as I have done back here, a layer of 2 to 4 inches of insulation, rigid insulation, buried back there will, now this is very imperfect, obviously, and isn't going to operate as well as it would if I took more care and time and more precision, but it will operate better than nothing. And it's basically given me just a huge thermal battery of mass with this earth and stone in these tires. And then with insulation, heavens, with the insulation on the backside, it makes it so that when the temperature inside this room, if it's an enclosed space, gets to be different from lower than the temperature that's held in this tire wall, it's a lot of air traffic, huh? It will kick that heat will kick back into the space that's contained, and then leak out slowly through that space, because I won't have it fully contained. But in any case, it helps just basically slow down the temperature exchange between this enclosed space and the outdoors. And because I have this rounded effect here and it's on my west side, it will be slowing down the wind that hits my home and adding just a very nice enclosed sort of outdoor space. This is yet another helicopter. I didn't even know we had that many in this town. Oh, maybe it's making a circle. I think it's another one. Anyhow, apologies for all the sound distraction, and let's give you another look. So what I'm doing now is mixing up the last bag of my Quickcrete in the last batch, and I'm just slapping it in there, like right here. I'll probably put some, trying to even it out, smooth it out as much as possible, and then I may put another layer of mesh, and I will definitely use a different mix, probably with some color on the last one, just because I happen to have some yellow stucco that matches my house, so it'll get stuccoed and hopefully look much nicer than it originally did as a tire wall, and then be functional and ready. I will eventually be building a concrete bond beam on the top of that to support the infrastructure of the semi-enclosed space. So stay tuned if you want to know more about that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already and you're new here, and let me know in the comments if you got any questions or concerns or ideas. I love it. Love to hear them. Thanks for being you. Thanks for letting me be me. Stay curious, stay courageous, and if you can, stay free.